Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the webinar, which is conducted by Credo Systems. We are glad to have you all today. And to quick intro about what we are going to talk today is about how to get into an industry using or testing platform. So we are going to talk about how your career can be groomed into a testing career. So that's all our topic is all about. And the reason why we have chosen this topic is we get a lot of freshers and experienced people who want to understand what exactly testing is, how it is different to development, and how we can actually build our career into a testing domain. So we thought it would be nice to group a lot of people who are interested to know, who have the same confusion or thoughts which they want to discuss and share. So that's the whole idea of having this discussion. I'd like to quickly introduce the speaker, Mr. Madan. He comes with 15 years of experience in the industry, and he is into completely has made his career into testing, and then he moved into automation testing. Now he's an automation architect in one of an MNCs, and he have almost trained more than 500, 600 people and helped them choose a dream job which they are looking for from a very long time. Thanks, Madan, for joining, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Arun. Thanks for details about the session and myself. Good morning, everyone. So, as Arun mentioned, so I will try to make this session more interesting and more informative for you guys. Okay. So I'll respect your time so that we'll try to give as much info as possible from us. And at the end of the session, okay, so I will give you some weapons to clear any sort of software testing interviews and the skills which is required to clear any sort of interviews. So we are going to discuss all this at the end of the session. Okay, so before that, let me show you an opportunity. To start with, so as Arun mentioned, myself, Matan, having 15 plus years of experience working in all aspects of testing, actually. So I started my career as a manual tester. Then slowly I geared up to an automation for one of the tool called QTP. So it's been renamed to UFT now. So after that, there was a tool which grown up called Selenium from the year of 2009, and still now it is in booming, actually. So where I left, actually, so I have started, I got an opportunity to migrate all the UFT script into Selenium. Then I got an opportunity to work in API automation with one of the framework called Rest Assured using Java, and mobile automation with the help of Appium and Perfecto Cloud, and performance automation using JMeter. So I worked in all aspects, actually. So currently being playing as a architect role for one of the MNCs, and my current project is using Python, designing a framework as it is. Okay. So this is all about me. So I'm going to share my experience and my aspects about the software testing. Okay. So before entering into this topic, so I know most of you guys from the fresher background, I mean, you are not sure about what is the stream and how much of doors has been opened from the testing perspective. What all skills are required. So we have just prepared some basic PPTs for you guys. So we are going to walk through all the PPTs at first, and then I'm going to tell you some mantras to clear any sort of interviews. It is not only applicable for software testing, so it's applicable for development as well. So it's going to be generic as a fresher. Okay. So before starting it, maybe let me quickly share my entire screen. So Arun, can you see my screen?
Yes, I.
Okay, thank you. Okay, guys. So before starting, let me show you some openings, okay, from the live, I mean the search result which is happened just now. Okay. So if I generally go and search for the software testing fresher, you will see something around 15,000 jobs are there. It is just throughout in India, and this search is not included the MNC. So MNC search is something different, and I too searching from only one portal, which is Naukri. Okay, the predominant job getter is from the LinkedIn now. So you will have a lot of opportunities from LinkedIn as well. So this is one source. Okay, Naukri is one of the leading portal in which if you generally go and search for software testing for freshers, now the search will show you more than 15,000 openings. Okay, but each and every openings will have an individual skill set. That might be a Java or automation or only a manual tester or API testing. So it depends. Okay, but still I segregated for you guys. So if you go and search something like an automation on top of it, you will get something close to 1,000 automation for freshers. Actually, see, I'm talking about only freshers over here, between 0 to 1 or 0 to 2 or 0 to any, so something like that. Okay, so you will get a 1,000 plus of opportunities in this, so you can just go and browse it for you guys. Okay, and in testing you have another segregation as well, something called API automation. So you will not find much opportunities as a fresher. Okay, but if you go between 0 to 2 years, you will have a lot of opportunities, something close to 5,000. So API is one of the predominantly growing medium nowadays. Okay, so I mean, we have a lot of advantages in API alone, and we conducted a API webinars some days back actually. Okay, so it has huge opening actually. So out of the 15,000 openings, you will see 5,000 is predominantly coming from API, as well as close to, which is functional testing, you will have another 5,000 or 6,000 opportunities. Okay, and if you go to performance, it has something close to 200 or 300. If you go to database testing, you will have something close to 200 to 300, and if you go to security testing, you will have close to 200 to 300. So it depends. Okay, but predominantly the openings are going to be a manual testing, and followed by an automation testing, followed by a, with automation you have something called API testing, and the API automation testing as well. You, I mean, there is an opportunities for you guys. So this is all about the current opportunities belongs to one portal. Okay, so to start with uh, so okay, so fine guys. So from the head count, what I have it. So I think everybody know Tamil. Anybody who's not understand Tamil over here, you can just ping in message chat, because someone has joined from Realme. I mean, they are not provided their name. Okay, fine guys. So it's going to be mixed of both guys. Okay, so let's start with who can attend the session. So obviously, I think here we have a combination of both the freshers experience, job seekers who has a break, or the person coming from non-IT. Okay, fine. I think one person, no issues. Let's continue in English. So some people's, most predominant peoples are going to be they started their career in non-IT, and maybe they might go for the call center job, or any telephonic jobs, or any other mechanical stream or electrical stream. Now they need to bring them back to IT. Okay, so because IT has a wide opening now. Okay, so it is not looking what education or what graduate you completed. No, irrespective of it, IT has a wide opening here, right? So here this session is also applicable for the non-IT candidates who is really seeking a job actually. Okay, so next, okay, let me maximize it. Okay, so why should I learn software testing? See, actually, most of the persons will be saying, if you are not good in auto, if you're not good in programming, you can go for a testing job. Okay, so that was there, but that was before 5 years. Okay, but now people are expecting you to. I mean, while I gave my introduction, right? So I've been part of multiple frameworks, multiple tools, multiple languages. Okay, so at least I mean, in my career, I'm very good in Java. Okay, but there was an opportunity for me to learn something about JavaScript, and I have to explore something more in API as well. So there is some tool. If you prefer some other tool, it is going to be language binded, meaning it can only work in one language, not a multiple languages. So there might be an opportunity for you to learn a JavaScript, or there might be an opportunity for you to learn Python. Okay, uh, irrespective of it, if you know one language very strong, then you can learn any languages. So no problem at all. Okay, so the point which I'm trying to make it over here is, previously there was a scenario, if you are bad in development, obviously you can prefer to go for testing. So it is not something like that. Testing is a skill set. See, if somebody is there to develop a product, okay, breaking the product, it is not such easy actually. So you have to think out of that box actually. So how you can break that box? What all different scenarios you can correlate it to break that application? Because breaking the application is not our objective. Our objective is to give the quality product to the customer. So for before giving a quality product, what you're supposed to do, you have to do a multiple scenarios of testing. You have to do a multiple flavor of testing to show this application is bug free. So it is 100% ready for application. I mean, for the customer to make use of this application. Correct. So there was an assumption before, if you're very bad in development, obviously you can prefer a testing. It is not the case actually. It is a passion. So you should, it is a skill set which is required. What are all different scenarios are there to break that application? It is a skill set. It is needed for you. Okay. So that's what we are going to discuss it. So we have just segregated. I mean, so out of this complete jobs, okay, so what are all jobs separations are there? Okay, so all over India, okay, so Bangalore, Chennai, I mean, this matrix has been taken before a month actually, but predominantly you'll be having this matrix all over actually, anywhere. The maybe the numbers might vary, but this much of opportunities are there for software testing alone. Okay, the average salary, okay, so it's going to be a plus or minus. So that's what we mentioned. So it's going to be starts with 2.5 lakhs to, I mean, minimum is 25 lakhs. That's what they quoted it. But I know the person who's earning 40 lakhs from that testing perspective. So is there any salary difference between a software tester and development? At beginning you might see some difference, but when you end up your career, you will not see any difference on it actually. So everything is going to be same, irrespective of software tester or developer. Everywhere it's going to be same, guys. Okay, so this is what the average salary what we collected from an internet. So how can I learn the software testing? So listen, guys, one is self-learning, how you learned your colleges or any other applications. Okay, but there are certain drawbacks in it for making a self-learning. Okay, so here we have mentioned some of this. Okay, there might be many technical articles online for learning software testing. Yes, of course there are many. Okay, but you should be very confident what you are learning is correct. That matters actually. What you are learning is correct, because you know how the YouTubers are going now, right? So thousands of YouTubers are there, and whatever they say, it's not true actually. It won't always true. So I can say something like that. Okay, and you can refer to the video tutorial. So there are a lot of video tutorials available, something like a Ojimi, and lot or modes are there, right? For online platform for you to learn recorded video sessions. Okay, but just think, what is the drawback on top of it? So see, if you get trained with an industry expert, so what advantages you are going to get it? One is a real-time mentor. See, the mentor is going to share their experience, and they are going to tell you a different scenarios. Okay, and very important, whenever you're going to get a doubt, whenever you questions, somebody is going to be there for you to clear that. That's very important. That won't be getted from the I mean the blogs or the video recorded videos. No, it is not going to be. So live session. Uh, I mean, the live trainer, mentor, experienced mentor is going to be there in front of you, and they are going to share their experience, and they are going to clear your questions. So this is how it's going to be. So do you fall under one of this category? So obviously the persons who has joined should have to be in this category. So either they can be a fresher and they are not sure where to start, what is the prerequisite which is needed, right? So if you go and search in internet, you'll have too much of content. I mean, like I just showed you in Naukri, I just searched it, but you're not sure which job is opted for you, which job can I prefer it to start my career. So there are a lot of stuffs which is there in it. Lot of questions will be there. Okay, so I'll be giving a questionnaire timing for you guys. Whatever question you want to raise, don't hesitate. என்ன question இருந்தாலும், that can be a small or big, or it can be a silly, never mind on it. Question கேட்டா மட்டும் போதும். So raise up all your questions and get it clarified, guys. Okay, it is completely free for you. There is no motto behind it. Okay, so whatever question you have it, just to get it cleared at the end of the session. Okay, so can I really learn a software testing? I just shown you the proof. Yes, there are a lot of opportunities are there. Okay, which is a back of development. Okay, so you in a team, if you have a 10 developers, 40% is supposed to be a testing team. So out of 10 developers, I mean, in a team, if 10% are there to develop a product, 6 will be, as per ratio, 6 are going to be a developer and 4 are going to be a tester. Okay, so don't hesitate to choose the testing stream. Okay, but there is some testing which is there, something called performance testing and the security testing. They won't be there out of 10, 6 members, I mean 6 developers and 4 testers. In that 4, predominantly going to be a functional testers. Okay, for performance, how they are going to be is, for the complete project, one performance tester going to be there, or one security tester is going to be there. It is not included in the project level. So on top of it, on top of this 4, some persons will be there from performance and some persons will be there from security testing for you guys. Okay, so that's the ratio all about. So what is software testing? Maybe predominantly you guys know it. Okay, so when there is an application, okay, when you're going to use some application, you might have used some application, something like Flipkart, Amazon, or GPay. I mean, whatever application you're interacting with, right? So how you're how I mean, how you're trusting your application. Okay, so there is a Paytm user, right? So you're going to send money across the vendors, right? So if you're not relaying that application, obviously you will not turn up to them actually. Okay, so I have used GPay, I used Paytm, and I have used some other scanner code applications as well. Okay, but I predominantly go with Paytm because there is a reason for it. Even though that is a GPay belongs to Google, I've seen a lot of disturbancy on my application especially. Okay, so if I go and scan somewhere, suddenly what will happen? It says the transaction failed, but I might lose my money. So they'll be saying, okay, within 2 or 3 days, your money is going to get back. So since on that day, I preferred, okay, I don't want to go with GPay. Let me go with Paytm. So I'm fine with the Paytm as of now. Okay, but there is something phone pay. Nobody will be preferring it because there are a lot of issues. I mean, you are not rely on that application. So if you're not reliable, if the application is not reliable, what you will do, obviously, okay, let's go with some other application, because a lot of applications which is there in queue. You will go and prefer some other application for you. When you will get that reliable, எப்போ உங்களுக்கு அந்த confident கிடைக்கும்? When the application is bug free. So even though that is a Google, they have an issue for you. Okay, see, that might be an issue, guys. Okay, but it should not impact the customer. If they are part of payment mode, obviously, if customer is going to lose one money of 1 rupee, or the vendor is going to lose 1 rupee, loss is a loss actually. Okay, they will see this is a bug. Okay, this is a bug which is an application as GPay is not working in my phone, which is my model of phone. It is not working it, so it is a bug with GPay. I prefer to go with Paytm. That's what happened. So when your application is having a bug, obviously people will not prefer that at all. Now you should understand what is the importance of testing. If you do all sort of testing and you are proving it, hey, your application is bug free, then obviously people will prefer that application. So at the end, how the people are preferring that application, it is software testing output. So you should be really proud for making that happen. Okay, so that is the importance of software testing in market, guys. Okay, so we have just to describe some theoretical topic. What is software testing? So software testing is a process of executing a program or application. I mean, into find a bugs. That's what I told at first. Okay, the intent is going to be break that application with the different scenarios. That can be a manual or an automation. We'll see what is the difference between an applications to be tested through manual and automation. We'll see all those stuff in upcoming slides. Okay, so it can also started as a process validation and verifying. So there are two terminology in it actually. So they will be calling it a validating and verifying it. Okay, so I will be giving an example. For example, let's assume you are going to maybe I'm going to start prepare something. Okay, I'm going to start prepare something. So before starting start preparing it, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get all my ingredients. Okay, and whatever ingredients which is mentioned in the book, okay, in the cookbook, I'm going to follow that. Okay, so I'm going to get all my ingredients with the quantity what they mentioned in that book. I'm going to adapt that. Okay, that is nothing but the verifying, meaning before starting an actual product, I'm going to walk through the requirement. That is nothing but the verification, meaning you're going to check, okay, this is what I needed as part of this application, so this is what I'm going to deliver as part of application. So that process is called as a verification. Okay, then after started with the preparation, I have started cooking it. Okay, and at some phase I have to do a testing for the preparation what I've done it. There is some phase. Okay, it is not at the end. Actually, it is not at the end. If I do my testing at the end, what will happen? Let's assume I prepared my biryani. Okay, until that I have not tested it at all. My biryani is ready now. I opened my vessel and my biryani is ready. And if I go and test it and I felt, hey, some salt to be added, some chili to be added, is it possible for me to do it? Here I found the defect at last. At last, so what it has to be done? I cannot able to add the salt or chili that matches, that will bring taste of my biryani. Obviously, it is not. So there is some phase where you have to start your testing. So on that correct phase, I have to start my testing. So if I tested it, okay, there is some salt to be added, there is some chili to be added, or any kind of taste to be added on that phase, I can add that. Okay, and rectify my issue by that time itself, so that my outcome is going to be perfect enough. So that is all about the software testing as a one-liner. Okay, any questions as of now, guys? Any questions as of now about the software testing? I really explained from the layman terminology by having some cooking stuff, right? So any questions as of now? Maybe you can use your chat window for asking it. Okay, even though if you hesitate to type in chat window, guys, so we will be giving an opportunity for you to unmute and ask your questions. So keep your questions with you guys, so that I can get it clarified. Okay, now there is something called a testing strategy. This is what I told you. When you have to do a testing, what is your scope? Okay, which is before starting my cooking, I'm going to verify with the requirement. So that is one strategy actually. Okay, so where you are going to start your testing, or after preparing it, which stage I'm going to start my testing. So everything has been designed with the help of this testing strategy. So where we are going to define our scope, what is my scope, which is my taste of biryani. I mean, some persons will prefer to go with more chili in the biryani. They need a taste something like that. Okay, some peoples will not prefer so much of chili. Okay, even my family won't go with that actually. So my kids won't go with that actually. So they need a chili to be very less. So what is my scope? What is my objective? So you have to understand. As a tester, you should understand what is the strategy, what is the scope. Based on the scope, you're going to design your strategy. Okay, based on my scope, this is what I'm going to add it. Okay, then you need a test environment where you have to do a testing. So I need sorry guys, anybody is asking a question, guys? Okay, guys, stay with me, stay with me. So we are going to discuss I told you very important mantras at the end of the session to discuss about your interview tips, everything. Okay, so stay with me, stay tuned with me. Okay. So this is all about the testing strategy. Okay, so what is the environment? What is the tool that I'm going to prefer? How I'm going to measure my quality of my testing? How I'm going to measure? What is the criteria I'm going to measure it? So based on my scope, whether the requirement as matches, my outcome is matches. So everything are going to be designed in the testing strategy phase. Okay, now in testing scope, you have something like this, guys. Okay, so something like whether I'm going to do a functional testing. I will give you one liner. What is a functional testing? Okay, to just validate the functionality of the application, what it meant for. Example, let's go with the GPay or Paytm. Okay, the intent of Paytm is just to transfer the money from your account to the preferred account, right? Preferred account or preferred purchase. That is the major functionality of Paytm or the Google Pay. Okay, so to keep that in your mind, and if you're going to do all sort of testing, all sort of testing from that perspective. Okay, so you're going to do a testing with mobile phone, testing with any QR code, different sort of QR code. Okay, if QR code is not valid, it's supposed to fail it for you. If QR code is valid, it's supposed to send an amount for you. If you try to send an amount which is not there in your balance, so it has to throw an error. What type of error which is showing it? Suddenly, if something has been interrupted between the transaction, so what we have to do it? So if you're going to test all sort of functionalities of what it meant for, that is going to be called as a functional testing, guys. Okay, so for doing a functional testing, you can do it manually or you can prefer to do it in automation as well. Okay, so there is a slide for me to show you what are all drawbacks you might have seen in manual testing and what all advantages are there in automation testing as well. So I'm going to show you that in one of the specific slide where we are going to discuss all. Okay, so I'll go on a single line, which is automation testing. So there are a lot of automation testing which is there. One of the predominant percentage of usage belongs to Selenium in market. So Selenium automation, nearly 70% of automation in industry has been done using an library framework called Selenium. And there is something called Appium. Appium is on top of Selenium actually. So if you know Selenium, you can easily learn an Appium. Okay, so Appium is for a mobile automation tool library. It's not a tool, it is a library. And Perfecto mobile automation, it is one of the tool which has the UI for you actually. Okay, so the difference between library and tool is nothing but tool is something visible for you guys. Okay, something visible உங்க UI இருக்கும் அதுக்கு. Okay, whereas for library it is not. I'm going to add the library to one of the ID, maybe Eclipse இருக்கலாம் இல்ல Netbeans இருக்கலாம். On top of it, I'm going to work with that library. So that is called as a library. Tool na UI is supposed to be there. UI இருக்கும் உங்களுக்கு. Okay, அதான் டூலுக்கும் லைப்ரரிக்கும் உள்ள வித்தியாசம். Okay, and the performance testing, very important. How well your application is performing it. Okay, so you would have been noting down to get your school or college results. If you, I mean, they will be giving some 2 or 3 websites for you, right? Some Anna University government websites, something. Then Tamil Nadu government websites will be there. Okay, but if you go on check the result, okay, result will be published after 10 o'clock. Go and check it. So what will happen? There is an application which will break for you. You might have seen it. When you go and see your result, exam result, most of sometime you might have seen the page is not displayed or page is corrupted. Page has so much of load not to handle it. So you might have seen it. I mean, the person who might have comes to see the result at 10 o'clock, they might have seen the result at 2 o'clock. But it is mandatory. That is fine. Okay. But to place an order in Flipkart, if it takes 1 hour, nobody will be preferring to go with the Flipkart. Obviously, people will go for some other medium, something like Amazon, eBay. There are a lot of online portal which is there for you to go and purchase within a minute as well, right? So if some application is taking some time to perform something, obviously people will not prefer that. So to test that, they will be preferring a performance testing. So for doing a performance testing, you need a lot of load for it. Loadனா இப்போ ஒரு அப்ளிகேஷனை டெஸ்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா அட் அ டைம்ல ஒரு 1000 பீப்புள்ஸ் அதை ஆக்சஸ் பண்ண வைக்கணும், ஒரு லட்சம் பேர் ஆக்சஸ் பண்ண வைக்கணும். ஸோ தே வில் மெஷர் ஓகே வாட் இஸ் த பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் ஆஃப் தட் அப்ளிகேஷன். ஓகே, அப்பதான் கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியும். ஸோ மேனுவலி யூ cannot do that. So there is automation tool which is required. One of the freeware tool which is available called JMeter, and load runner is from HP company. That is a paid version, commercial version, which expense. Okay, but you can do whatever you want to in JMeter as well. And there is something called new load. That is also one of the commercial tool which is available for you. And there is something called API testing. Very important in nowadays. It is a very growing technology in industry, API. Okay, so how the different technologies can interact with each other. Example, just you're going to book a ticket, right? So movie ticket book பண்ண போறீங்க. So you're going to a website, something called book my show, ticketnew.com. So there is some websites that they are offering it, right? So how they are permitting you guys to interact with the different theaters. So does that mean that all the, I mean, the ticket new or book my show is accessing their servers? Actually, obviously no. எப்படி ஒரு சர்வரோட ஆக்சஸ் இன்னொருத்தர் கிட்ட கொடுப்பாங்க from the third person? Obviously no, right? So I mean, அவன் என்ன பண்றான், they are the one middleman actually. They are going to give some login access for you guys to get enter into that application. Through that application, what you're going to do, you're going to interact with, okay, for example, I'm going to interact with the Satyam theater, I'm going to interact with the PMR. So whatever theater you might have it, right? So you can go and interact, you can go and book your ticket over there. How that is possible? With the help of API. Okay, so API is nothing but a communication mode to transfer between two different languages, two different platforms. It can be anything, using which what you can do, you can interact with, you can, it will give an example to interact with you. Okay, so in one of the slide, in API webinar, I come up with one slide. Okay, so if you see that slide, everybody can understand very simply what is API all about. Okay, it is something like you are going to have a food in one of the hotel. Okay, let's assume sorry guys, the cook who is going to prepare a food for you, okay, he is from some other country. Okay, so let's assume he is from French, or he is from Chinese. It's going to be something like that, something other than Tamil or India. Okay, so but you are the person who know only English and Tamil. Okay, so even that person, the Chinese person who is preparing for you, he don't know English as well, so he only know Chinese. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to order a food. Okay, but that person don't know what the food that you're ordering it, because he is completely out of the language that you are speaking it. So what you are going to do is you're going to interact with the waiter, and the waiter is going to interact with the person who is going to prepare, which is cook. Okay, so once the preparation what you asked for is ready, he is going to communicate to the waiter, and waiter is going to make a transfer, which is from kitchen to your table. So here the way is going to be play as a API for you. So அதுதான் வந்துட்டு API is going to do it everywhere.
Dear comrade,
Dear guys, be in mute. I appreciate you guys to be in mute. Thank you so much.
அதான் எப்போ வந்துச்சு செகண்ட் பார்ட்? இங்க ஒரு மாசம் அச்சடி வந்து நேத்தா வந்து அவங்களே வா.
Arun, can you be in mute please? Thank you.
Yes, well.
Okay, sorry guys, sorry for interruption. Okay, so that's all about an API guys. Okay, so this is certain separation of functional testing. So what we will be actually doing with the functional testing, for which you should know some terminology. So that terminology you will know only after maybe learning something about software testing. Obviously you will know this importance of testing. Okay, so just now we spoken about. So if that application is not working as expected, obviously we will not prefer that application at all. So that is nothing but the when the testing is going to be poor, That's the outcome is going to be. Nobody is going to prefer that application. It is going to be directly impact the customer. So you're going to do a role, okay, which is directly going to impact the customer. So you have to be really conscious while doing a testing, guys. Okay. So why we need to go for an automation? Listen carefully. Very, very important slide. Okay. So as a manual tester, so some manual person is going to do it. Okay. So being a manual, if you're going to keep on do a same activity for multiple times. Okay. So what will happen? We are a human being. So there is a lot of way for us to make a mistake, right? So you can see it here. The testing, whatever might be boring for you, or you felt that it is consuming a lot of time for me, right? Tedious mistakes. I have some other thing in my mind, so obviously I'm making mistakes. So you cannot get rid of it. Actually, you cannot get rid of manual completely, right? So there are something which is there for you. So I cannot give this excuses for an application which is playing with payment. I cannot go and give this application, hey, it felt very bored for me, so I'm not going to do a testing. Or if I do some testing, I'm going to compromise with my quality. If you say that, nobody is going to prefer your application. That's what I'm saying it. If GPay is making a mistake for multiple times, so I'm not going to prefer GPay at all. So someone who has tested the GPay, obviously they have made some mistakes on it, right? So some part cannot be done through manual. Okay, so that can be preferred to go for an automation. Something like if you want to run the test case for multiple browsers, for example, in industry you have 6 different major browsers and nearly 4 different platforms which is there. Okay, minimum 3 different platforms which is there for you actually. Okay, so 3 into 6, it's going to be probability is going to be 18. So if you're going to do your test case in this much of combination, so that is not so easy for you, right? You cannot do it manually. Same thing like I told you, performance automation, you cannot do it manually. So those stuff can be preferred to go for an automation. So if you go for an automation, the accuracy will be more precise. For example, if you're going to fix this is the calculation you're going to do, this is the discount price you're going to give it to the customer. If you code it right way, so obviously your outcome is going to be more precise. If you run it for 100 times, 1000 times, it won't change at all, right? So something cannot be done in manual because of those issues, but something can be done in automation. Even in automation, there is certain issues which is there, which is you see there is something called usability testing. That is some strange person has to sit in front of that application and they have to use it. Example, you guys are from college, okay? Even you are from college, you don't know anything about application, you don't know anything about language, but you can sit in front of Flipkart or Amazon to submit any order. Nobody record to assist you actually, so you can directly go and sit in front of Amazon or Flipkart and you can do your testing, meaning you can place your order. So that is nothing but the usability of that application. So they are giving that much of usability, they are helping you to submit a order. For example, if you're going to select the size which is not available, they're going to say, hey, please, size is not available. If you're going to prefer the price which is less than 200 and you prefer some other t-shirt, they are going to say, hey, for which that t-shirt price is 300. If you're going to prefer, no, I don't want to give any transportation charges, they are going to say, hey, for this product there is a transportation. So everywhere they are going to assist you. So that type of testing is nothing but the usability testing that should be done by the human. That should be done by the human, not an automation actually. So there are both plus and minus are there from manual as well as automation. Okay, so importance of automation. So I told just now, speed to market, reduce the regression testing cycle. So regression is a terminology actually. Multi-platform testing application, multi-browser testing application, data-driven testing. Data-driven testing is nothing but I'm going to drive a lot of data from the external source. That can be a database article, or it can be an Excel article, or it can be some JSON, any outside of source actually it can be, okay. And it is cost reduction, very important, okay. So 100% work can be done with one application. So that much of cost effectiveness is going to be there for you. Okay. So what all automation tools are there in market? One of the major tool which is open source, which is Selenium. Open source is nothing but it is free, guys. Okay, it is free for everything. You can design whatever framework you want to do with the help of Selenium, actually, zero cost. Okay, I mean the UFT, which is QTP, what I'm talking about, which is being owned by HP. It is priced one, actually, so it is a commercial. You have to pay for it. You will get the trial version for 1 month, and it can be extended until 3 months, but not more than that. There is something called Appium, which is nothing but the mobile automation library, actually, we can do. That is also open source. Okay, and for API testing, there is something called Postman and SOAP UI, which is there. It is also a open source. And JMeter, which is performance testing tool, it is also an open source. And there is some other tools which is there. It is the paid version, actually. So those are all the tools which is there in market, but out of which Selenium is the leader as of now. As of now, it can change. Okay, all these are our candidate success story, guys. Okay, so the candidate who got placed in different companies, so we just listed out based on companies. There are quite big list, actually, we do have it. Okay, but they are from the other companies, which is the startup, or it can be a third degree company. So there are companies. Okay, but people obviously preferring an MNC, but think about it, guys. When compared to MNC, the place you're going to learn much is from the startup. Okay, so for starting your career, I prefer first 3 years to be there in startup, not in MNC. If you're there in MNC, you will not learn much, actually. Okay, so you can ask all your questions, guys. Okay, so before that, okay, so let me complete the slides. So I will give you steps, actually, so how to start, how to proceed, all those stuff. Okay, okay, listen, guys. So okay, so this might be helpful for you guys, which is willing to be part of your successful future. So what is the cost, and what is the duration? Within that duration, what all credos are offering it? Okay, so we are providing an online classroom, both in a hybrid mode, actually. Okay, and whatever course you going to join, it's going to be between 2 to 3 months of time duration based on your understanding. So how long? Obviously, that's what I told you. So how much it will take? So it is the best price what we are offering it as per in industry. You can compete with any persons, actually. Okay, so we are offering a good assistance for your job, guys. Okay, so by providing, I mean, we have a separate HR for interacting with you based on your experience. If you are a fresher, they will be treated you separately. If your experience belongs to so and so, they will be treated you separately. Okay, and will yeah, yes, I mean, the whoever the training, I mean, the whoever trainer is going to be take, it is minimum more than 8 years of experience persons are going to be conducted for you guys. Okay, and there is even though if you join a live session, there will be a recorded sessions are going to be shared with you. You can make use of that for your lifetime, guys, for your lifetime. Okay, we are not restricting you something like other competent persons are doing it. We are giving it for lifetimes, actually. Okay, um, so this is what I told you, actually. So about industry experts, hands-on with the real-time project, no PPTs, rules. Okay, regular assessment and feedback. So everything we are offering it. That's what we promised you to. Okay, let me quickly share you guys about some tips, guys. Okay, just follow me. Okay, listen carefully, guys. At first, how you can proceed. Okay, so the first is go and prepare your resume. Okay, so the best is, if you're a fresher, one page resume is more than sufficient. So to create a one page resume, you can prefer so and so websites. Actually, there are a lot of open source websites which is there to prepare one page resume. Okay, it will give you one page. It is quite good, guys. Okay, for example, let me quickly share you some of the sample resume what I have it with me. So we have categorized something like this, and if you just go on to open any of the freshers or So it will be something like this. Okay. Guys, be in mute, please. Jones. Okay, so something like this, guys. Okay, so it is one-page resume. You have to just provide an information. So the portal what I mentioned for you, which will automatically prepare a resume for you. Okay, so it is quite neat actually, neat and clean. Just to put what is the skill set, all those, so it will take care for you actually. Okay, so that is all about the resume preparation. So that is your first step. Okay, second and third and fourth step is very, very important, guys. Listen carefully, listen carefully. This is a mantra, you have to remember that. Okay, if you think you are not ready after completion of training, so you are wasting it actually. Meaning anyhow, after completion of training, you might have failed, guys. Okay, but what we are saying, it fail fast. Failure will give you an information, okay, what make you to success. Okay, so don't be panic. Okay, I'm not ready for it, I'm not 100%. You will not be 100% ready by any time. Okay, even the trainer what you are saying it, if he go and attend an interview, that will be quite challenging, you might have seen on that experience level. So there might be a failure for him as well actually. Okay, so since he is a guru, he can clear everything. No, it is not the case actually. So there will be a learning in all the phases. There will be a learning in all the phases. So fail fast and fail forward. So this is two mantra you're supposed to remember it. Okay, so don't be panic during an training itself. Go and appear for an interview and realize, okay, these are all the questions that they are asking for. These are all this is what they are asking in an interview. This is what they are expecting as an interviewer. So you have to learn that fast actually. Okay, don't wait to appear for an interview. Okay, let me prepare percentage for an interview. It won't work at all. Okay, so for that only Credo is offering a 2 interview preparation session. Okay, before completion itself, mock-up interview. So where we will be giving a feedbacks. Okay, even though if you're not ready, we will be giving a continuous feedback. Fail fast and get the feedback. Okay, and the third step is so that's what I mean. At the end of the session, get ready with your profile, which is your resume, and go for it. Okay, minimum 6 to 9 jobs you might have failed, guys, not more than that. I'm saying minimum. Okay, you might have get a job in second or third or even first also. Okay, but I'm saying on an average. Okay, on an average, if you go and appear for any sort of interviews, at max you might fail 6. Okay, from 7, the clearing of interviews will be more for you guys. So that's what I was saying it. With this data, I'm saying fail fast and get feed from it. Go for a fresh interview after that and get it cleared. That's what I'm saying it. Okay, then identify the patterns of questions. Okay, for you guys, we are preparing you a very good interview questions actually. What patterns of questions that they are asking for? Okay, so identify the 20 to 25 coding questions actually. Coding questions which I'm talking about. Identify 20 to 25 coding questions and do all the coding exercise using any ID. Okay, and get it your own way of answering it. Okay, don't just mug up it and answer it. So only you have a 8+ years of experience trainers. Okay, so you have to present your own answer, not from any book definitions. It won't work for you. Okay, and one of the very good medium nowadays in industry is LinkedIn, guys. Okay, it is a free source. Don't go for any paid service. Okay, it is just a free source. Okay, do 2 times update daily. Okay, go and upload your informations and go and update 2 times. And the timing is preferred timing is, okay, the effective timing is between 1 to 2 p.m. or 8 to 9 p.m. So this is the preferred time. Okay, most probably for your resume to shortlist actually. Okay, and whenever you go and search it. Okay, so I have searched for you guys actually. So just to go on something like software testing and use a boolean. Okay, and selenium and java, and so use the and as a combination. That is a keyword you're supposed to use. Okay, or you can search by post or you can search by job. That is the best way of going it. Sorry guys. So this is the LinkedIn strategy. Okay, and the skill set what you needed to clear any sort of software testing is not everything, most of the thing. Okay, so like manual. Okay, and if you join the automation course, it will be covered with the Selenium WebDriver. Okay, core Java, TestNG, Cucumber, Apache Py, Page Object Model, Maven, Git, Jenkins. Everything will be covered except a few, which is SQL. This related to APIs. This is a different course altogether. So this been covered. So apart from this three, everything will be covered as part of software testing course for you guys. Okay. So that's it from me, guys. Open for questions. So you can unmute it and ask your questions, guys. Any questions? Guys, feel free, please. I hope you have an option to unmute. சொல்லுங்க பூர்ணி.
Hi. So it means like for API testing also programming skills is a must, right? As you mentioned,
Yes, I understood your question. So for doing a manual testing, you can prefer to go with Postman. Okay, but even there, too much of manual testing won't work. So in Postman also there is an option for you to automate with the help of JavaScript. It is not required you have to learn the complete JavaScript, but basic of JavaScript is needed over there. Okay, and if you want to automate the complete library, then you need a Java knowledge for you. There is something called Rest Assure is the library with the help of Java that is needed for you to automate the APIs from the Java perspective. There is some other languages as well, Python, C#, using which also you can automate it. Does that answer your question, Purni?
yes.
Hello, sir. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so this is Anvi Kadam here. Right now, I'm doing freelancing manual testing job, but I'm
Okay.
looking for permanent manual testing job, work from home. So can I get on work from home jobs for that? Yes, I'm trying to search, but I'm not able to get those kind of jobs.
That's what it depends. It depends on the client that you might have get it. Okay, so I have a friend, okay, who's having a job even from my level, which is 14 plus of years of experience itself. I have a person who is having a 100% of job openings, which is work from home job openings. But
Okay.
here the question is for manual, only for manual, maybe the percentage of ratio is going to be very, very less. Sorry for it.
Okay.
For automation, yes, of course, there is an opportunities actually. For API or the functional automation, there is an opportunities.
Okay, so I need to upgrade to API testing.
Now API or the functional automation. So either way you have to do it. You don't have an option. I mean, see, you cannot survey with the manual alone, guys.
Yeah.
And the industry is changing a lot more. People are expecting. That's what I was saying it. So that was a phase before 5 years. If you're poor in development, you can directly switch to automation. Sorry, you can prefer software testing. That is not the case nowadays, actually.
Okay.
People are expecting minimum of one programming skills from you. Any programming skills. Predominantly, it's going to be Java.
Okay. So minimum which one if I want to upgrade myself, so what skill I have to upgrade? Minimum.
It is based on your experience. If your experience is more than 2, so I will say you go for functional automation and API automation. Both is needed more than 2 years.
Okay. And database testing, on the basis of individual database testing, can I get any job like that?
That I showed you in Naukri, right? I mean, the count will vary actually. Simple. Okay, if I search it just now, okay, the count will come close to 200 to 300. That's what the ratio you will be seeing it actually.
Okay, okay. And the GUI, in GUI testing, we don't test database, is it? Just GUI function.
No. I mean, see, 3 layers are there here. Okay,
Yeah.
even though if you are a functional tester, you should know how your application works. Correct? Very simple, guys.
Okay.
Very simple. Let me open any applications. Okay, so let me quickly open a Credo systems. If you open a developer tools for you guys, sorry guys, I don't know how to close this. instead of I will do this. Okay, see, there is an option in developer 2 called network. Okay, so in which you can identify what are APIs which is calling over. Okay, for example, if I'm going to click on something, okay, so you will see this are all the APIs which is transferring it. Okay, so even though if you are a front-end tester alone, you should know the back-end also. So how the data has been transferred between the front-end and back-end using APIs. So எங்க போகும்? It is going to put all the data in database. So you should know what data is being displayed in your UI. It is same as in database. That level of testing is needed actually. So even though if you are going to be a functional UI tester, like you say GUI tester, it is required you to be skilled with some basic SQL code query. It is needed. Is that answer question?
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Other questions, guys? Guys, welcoming lot of questions, ma. Whatever simple questions you do have it, please raise it up. Don't keep it with you. Tamil கேட்கலாம் தப்பு இல்ல. Except one, everybody can understand Tamil.
Sir, one more question. If I require any work from home jobs, can you guide on this or any? This is Anvi Kadam. If I upgrade myself?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Guys, please drop your messages, guys. Credo has shared you the form actually. So if you want to be in touch, okay, if you want to attend any future webinar or if you want to get any job opportunities, something like 100% work from home. So if that is the case, obviously we should know your contact details, your basic information, right? So we won't share it to anyone. Don't. It is going to be 100% secure. So try to fill all your forms and provide your proper feedbacks. Okay, go ahead. Somebody is asking some questions. யாரோ கொஸ்டின் கேட்க வந்தீங்களே
சார்
சொல்லுங்க
சார். இப்போ வந்து எனக்கு அந்த ஜாவா அந்த இதெல்லாம் தெரியாது சார். நான் வந்து நார்மலா பிஎஸ்சி நார்மல் டிகிரி தான் சார் வச்சிருக்கேன்.
ஓகேமா.
இப்போ வந்து எப்படி சார் அது டெஸ்டிங் எப்படி சார் போக முடியும்? அதெல்லாம் கம்பெனில போகலாம்.
ஓகே, லிசன் கைஸ். சி டைரக்டா எந்த கம்பெனியுமே உங்களை எடுத்து ட்ரெயின் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. ஸோ அதனாலதான் வந்துட்டு வி ஆர் தேர், ரைட்? ஸோ தே நீட் அ ட்ரெயின்டு பீப்புள்ஸ். ஸோ அதனாலதான் இப்போ நாங்க எங்கிட்ட நீங்க ட்ரைனிங் பண்ணும்போது, ஓகே, நான் என் ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேர் பண்ணி சொல்றேன் பாருங்க. we won't have any prerequisites. என் கோர்ஸ் படிக்க வரும்போது உங்களுக்கு இது தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும்ன்ற அவசியம் கிடையாது. ஓகேவா? இதெல்லாமே என்னுடைய ஆன்லைன் பேட்சஸ். ஓகே, so I will show you everything. Okay, whatever been as the latest or older one. Day 1ல இருந்து பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா ஜாவா இன்ஸ்டாலேஷன்ல இருந்தே எடுத்திருப்போம். அதாவது இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன்ஸ், ஜாவா இன்ஸ்டாலேஷன்ஸ். ஸோ இந்த கோர்ஸ் படிக்கிறதுக்கு உங்களுக்கு எதுவும் நாலேஜ் இருக்கணும், நீங்க கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ் தான் படிச்சிருக்கணும் அப்படிலாம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது. ஓகேவா? ஈவன் I have a very good student who is technically strong in mechanical, other fieldsல எனக்கு டெக்னிக்கலா ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்கிற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸும் லிஸ்டும் என்கிட்ட இருக்கு. ஓகேவா? ஸோ ஒன்லி அப்ஜெக்டிவ் வந்துட்டு யூ ஷுட் பி ரெடி டு லேர்ன். தினமும் அசைன்மெண்ட் இருக்கும். சி ஐ எம் நாட் சேயிங் இட் இஸ் கோயிங் டு பி கேக் ஒர்க், ரொம்ப ஈஸியா இருக்கும் அப்படிலாம் சொல்லல. ஓகேவா? தினமும் உங்களுக்கு அசைன்மெண்ட் இருக்கும். யூ ஷுட் மேக் ஷூர் அந்த அசைன்மெண்ட்டை தினமும் சீரியஸா நீங்க கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணியே ஆகணும். அப்பதான் இந்த நாங்க சொல்ற ப்ராமிஸ் டெலிவரியை எங்களால பண்ண முடியும். Arun, you are saying something?
No, I was just trying to add what you said. இந்த மாதிரி பிஎஸ்சி, பிசிஏ ஆர் அதர் கிராஜுவேட்ஸ், அந்த மாதிரி எந்த ஒரு கன்ஃபியூஷனும் வேண்டாம். ஓகே, ஸோ டுடே இண்டஸ்ட்ரி லுக் அட் தி ஸ்கில். when you create your profile, if you put it in a job site, அவங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பார்க்க போறது எந்த ஸ்கில் இருக்கு. அவங்களுக்கு இன்னைக்கு வந்து தேவைன்றது ஸ்கில் தான். இஃப் யூ ஆர் குட் இன் த ஸ்கில் விச் we are going to train, definitely there is a job. ஓகே, ஐடிஸ் ஆக்சுவலி ஹேவ் 100% குரூம் ஆயிருக்கு. இன்னைக்கு அவ்வளோ ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் இருக்கு. அந்த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் எப்படி நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றத உங்க சைட்ல நீங்க யோசிக்கணும். ஸோ டோன்ட் வரி அபவுட் விச் எவர் கிராஜுவேஷன் யூ ஆர். ஓகே,
தேங்க்யூ சார். தேங்க்யூ சார்.
யா,
makes sense. Arun, guys, any other questions? Well, a lot of questions, guys. Please go ahead. Akshaya, Anil, Arul, any questions?
So we have also shared the forms. யாருக்கா வந்து கேட்க hesitation இருந்துச்சுன்னா please fill the form. You let us know. One-on-one counseling we can do. You can talk to Madan individually. We can arrange a discussion, or you can talk to us. You can ask all of the doubts you have, and please provide your feedback, because this helps us giving you a right content, right counseling. It will help us a lot, and we will be coming up with a lot of such sessions in the future as well. Okay.
Guys, make use of Credo's services actually. Okay, so see, நீங்க வந்த உடனே peoples are not forcing you. Okay, நீ testing தான் படிக்கணும், development தான் படிக்கணும்னு சொல்லல. Credo is, see, we have a excellent persons who can guide you. Actually, the person who is speaking is having a close to 15 years of work experience as a developer. He is playing as an architect now. Okay, so he has a wide. So இந்த மாதிரி ஒருத்தர் கிட்ட தான் உங்களுக்கு என்ன ஆக போகுதுன்னா கவுன்சிலிங் கொடுப்பாங்க. So what you're good at actually. So நீ டெவலப்மெண்ட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்னா உனக்கு டெவலப்மெண்ட்ல லிஸ்ட் அவுட் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஓகே, நீ இதெல்லாம் படிச்சுன்னா யூ வில் ஹேவ் அ வெரி குட் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் அப்படின்ட்டு. இல்ல எனக்கு இல்ல மதன், ஐ எம் நாட் குட் இன் டெவலப்மெண்ட். இஃப் யூ ஃபீல் தட், ஓகே சரி, அப்போ ஒரு ஸ்டெப் கீழே டெஸ்டிங்லயும் கண்டிப்பா யூ ஹேவ் டு லேர்ன் இட். பட் ஒரு ஸ்டெப் கீழே கம்பேர்ட் டு டெவலப்மெண்ட், ஒரு ஸ்டெப் கீழே இதுல என்னென்ன ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் இருக்கு அப்படின்ட்டு சொல்லுவாங்க. இல்ல எனக்கு கிளவுட் டெக்னாலஜிஸ்ல எனக்கு விருப்பம் இருக்கு, ஐ எம் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பர்சன், ஐ ஹேவ் 3 years of experience, more than 3 years of experience in industry, I want to go for a cloud technology, அதுக்கும் உங்களுக்கு ஆப்ஷன் சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ என்ன உங்களுடைய ரெக்யர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி Credo will give a proper informations. ஸோ நாங்க உங்களை ஒரு ப்ரிஃபர்டா ஒரு கோர்ஸ் வச்சுக்கிட்டு we will not push you actually. So we won't do that actually. Based on your agenda, we will be giving a good guidance for you. இதெல்லாமே ஃப்ரீயா அவங்க கொடுக்கறது. Okay, so make use of it. Fine guys, வேற ஏதாவது questions இருந்தா நீங்க கேட்கலாம், or we can wind up the session.
Thank you, Madan. It was nice, a great session. It's very informative for everyone, I believe. As we said, I'm reiterating, if anyone has any questions, please, you can reach us. You can also fill the form. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
bye bye.